Good morning, YouTube family. Today we're gonna do a different video. If you watched my last one, this past Wednesday, we winterized the chicken coop. So if you haven't watched that and you're interested, go check that out. Because we had a storm come through Sunday, and that's come and gone. So it's a little soggy, but it did really well. It's not nearly a mud pit like it has been being when it rains. And they're liking their little perch. That tarp is blocking their wind. So they are out here living their best life. All we have to do now is check for eggs more often than normal so that the eggs don't freeze while we're out, waiting for someone to come and get them, because we don't want them to freeze and crack, because then we can't use them. And I just heard somebody singing an egg song. So let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's in the run, so somebody's done. And then we just have to, other than checking for eggs more often, we have to check their water to make sure it is not freezing, because they have to have access to fresh water. And it is now currently 26 degrees outside with a wind chill of 19. It's a little too cold for me. And it is spitting snow. And the weather forecast now is calling for a huge snowstorm on Friday. For context, today, the day I'm filming this, is Tuesday. This will be for tomorrow's video. It is so cool. So today's Tuesday. This video will come up tomorrow on Wednesday. And then I am going grocery shopping on Thursday, which I had already planned to do that on Thursday anyway. And then we will have the snowstorm on Friday. So I'm sure the grocery store will be lovely on Thursday. So let me check for some eggs. We have 3 so far. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna get them in just a minute. Good morning, popcorn. You staying warm in here? Okay, I'm gonna get these in just a minute. But first, while we're out here, we talked about winterizing their house. Today, we're going to get our house ready for the cold. So while we're out here outside, let's go ahead and talk about exterior of the house. So obviously, faucet covers. These are brand new. I just bought this one at Ace Hardware. They had plenty, thankfully. So we've got one out here and then one on the front of the house by the front door. Both of those are covered up. So, and then you can see in the window right here, I have a rolled up blanket to protect any draft from coming in on any drafty windows. So that's pretty much the extent of the outside. Make sure your hose is not connected, which that really stinks, because that means to get their water, I have to go inside the house to do all that. But that's okay. Look, it's spitting snow. I don't know if you can see it. See? All right, let's go inside. So we talked about putting a blanket or a towel or something like against the threshold of like a drafty window, or even at the bottom of like an exterior door, like your front door, your back door, maybe the garage door, at least if no other time overnight when nobody's coming in and out of the doors. Like if I'm having to go out to the backyard multiple times between checking for eggs, checking their water, and letting Willow in and out, then it's probably not feasible to put one at the bottom of the back door. But when we go to bed for the night, when we close it up, nobody else is going outside, then I could put one down for overnight when it's the most cold. Then that will block some wind as well. But we're in the bathroom because I'm going to show you what I learned last winter. And I did it on Colson's room because he has a huge like double window in his room, and his room is the coldest room in the house, and this really, really helped. So I'm gonna do it. His room's already good to go. Bailey doesn't need it in hers. Her room is not drafty, and her window is on this end of the house where the wind is coming from this direction. So her window doesn't really get wind. It's not drafty. And it's kind of blocked. So her room is actually the warmest room of the house. So she does not need this on her window. So what I did was last year I went to Sam's and I bought this huge roll of bubble wrap, okay? So, and it is perforated. You don't have to get the perforated, but it just happens to be perforated, where you can tear off sheets of it. And what you do, all you need is bubble wrap and a spray bottle with just plain tap water. So, and I don't know where my tap water bottle is right now. they all have cleaning supplies in them. So I'm gonna have to go probably to Dollar Tree and grab a clean, fresh one and just label it plain tap water, so that I don't put anything in it. So you don't wanna pop your bubbles. I know it's tempting. You spray your window. And I'm just gonna show you with a little small piece, but you obviously don't want small pieces. Get as big of a piece as you can get. And you're going to put, there is a smooth side and the bubble side. Does that make sense? Like the bubble or the smooth. You're gonna put the bubble side to the glass and the smooth side to the room. So we're gonna put the bubble side to the glass like this. So what you'll do is you'll spray it with the, just very lightly with water, not a lot, and then you just take your bubbles to the window and you just, and it will stick to the water. There's no water, so it's not sticking, but it will just stick to the water and it will cover your window. And this window, I'm definitely doing it this year. This is our bathroom. That's obviously an exterior wall. There is our shower. Below this is our tub. And this room gets really, really cold in the winter. It doesn't get wind because it's still on the same end of the house as Bailey's room. Her room is right there. But it is still very, very cold. So we're gonna insulate this window. I just wanted to show you how to do that in case if you wanted to do it. Super inexpensive, it's super easy, no equipment necessary, and you can do this in like 5 minutes. Another thing you can do on the interior of your home is check your hot water heater. Now, if you have an electric one, this is even more important. Ours is gas, thankfully, so if we lose power, at least we will still have hot water. But either way, gas or electric, if your hot water heater is not like ours, I would consider getting one of those blanket heater insulator things that you wrap around it. They sell them at Walmart, especially if yours is in the garage. The house we had before this one, ours was in the garage. This one is in the attic, right here. And it is chilly in here, but there is plenty of insulation all around in here. So I am not going to spend the money on one of those blanket things to wrap this one. It's a very small attic. This is my whole attic right here. That's it. That's the whole attic. So it's not a lot of space in there to have a whole lot of cold air around it. And it's not in the garage where it's even colder. So if it was in the garage and it was electric or either or, I would get one of those blanket things and wrap around your hot water heater. And finally, the last thing we will do on the interior of the house is on the nights that it is below freezing, we will drip all of the interior faucets like this. When I say drip, I mean like it's very hard to get it. Usually we end up having to do it this much because if you just barely touch it, it will turn it completely off. But we will drip it like this, all of them, every single sink, as well as we will open up both of the cabinet doors to let the warm air circulate around the pipes because nobody wants a burst pipe. Sorry for the lighting in here, but I brought you in here to talk about another thing that we do to prepare. We do all the laundry, all of our clothing, first of all, because we don't have a lot of clothing as it is. So you have to think ahead. If we were to lose power for an extended amount of time, how are we going to wash clothes? I would much rather start off with all of our clothes are completely clean, and then we have a few days of clothes that we don't have to worry about wearing dirty clothes because we need to be warm. All of our clothes will be clean because we're gonna have to layer. We'll have to put like leggings under overalls or under blue jeans. We'll have to put several pairs of socks on, maybe several like shirts, jackets on top of that if we need to layer up to stay warm. I would like my clothes to be clean. So I make sure that everybody's clothes are all completely clean, as well as all of our bedding. So yesterday I changed the sheets on our bed because I do it every Monday, and we have 2 sets of sheets for our room. So we have clean sheets on there now, and the second set is clean and on the shelf ready for us if we need it. So the sheets on our bed are clean. Today I will make sure both kids' beds are clean, and Bailey's second set of sheets are clean. I just washed them last night. I'm washing all of Colson's bedding now because you just don't ever know. The more blankets you have, the more you can layer up. Use them for yourself, or like I said, to put at the bottom of a door if you need to. But nobody really wants to snuggle up in stinky blankets and stinky bedding. And if you have no power to wash them or dry them, then what? So, bedding it is. Another thing that I do to prepare for a winter storm or a possible power outage is to make sure that I have things at home to handle anything that should arise, whether it's an injury or a sickness. If for some reason we cannot get out to go to a minor med or to the doctor, things such as first aid, you know, Band-Aids, gauze, ointments, pain relievers, iodine, things to clean a wound with if you need to, or something you need to sterilize something with some alcohol, you've got that. I always have these on hand anyway, but when it's something like this, I make sure I gather them all together, make sure I have everything, I'm not low on something like Band-Aids, or I need to pick something up at the store, and just make sure I have it all within reach if we need it, whether that's in a container of some sort, or just put aside on a shelf somewhere where it's easy to find in an emergency situation. Also, I gather things up for if we get sick. Things like extra tissues, cold and flu medicines, allergy medicines, cough and cold for the kids, elderberry capsules, elderberry liquids for the kids. We've got kids allergy. We have a thermometer. We've got vapor bath for if they want to go take a bath or a shower. Since we have hot water with the hot water heater, they can do that. I have learned how to make my own vapor rub, which I will probably do a video on that soon, out of the tallow that I have rendered. So we have plenty of that if we need it. And of course, you know, any essential oils that you might want to keep on hand for something like this. If you have them, grab them. And then also we have over here vitamins. If we have learned, if you take vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, and D on a daily basis, the likelihood of getting sick is far less. And then we also have any tummy meds that you might need for kids or us or whatever. I would also, in that regard, keep a bottle of grape juice in the pantry, because the last thing you want is to be stuck in the house for days with someone that has caught a stomach bug before we got closed up into the house, and then it spreads to everyone else. So if someone in the family gets a stomach bug, if the rest of the people who have been exposed to it, to that person, but they don't have symptoms yet, if they will all drink some grape juice, they will not get the stomach bug. So along with the tummy meds, grab a bottle of 100%, it can't be cocktail, it has to be 100% purple grape juice. And then also any prescription medicines that you know you have to have on a daily basis, go ahead and make sure that you have plenty, that you don't need a refill in the next couple of days, because if you are snowed in or iced in, probably the pharmacy is not going to be closed, or it was going to be closed. And if they're not closed, what if you can't get to the pharmacy? Make sure you have any prescriptions that you need on hand. All right, let's talk light, heat, and energy sources. So I'm in the process of gathering up candles. This is a very, very small percentage of the amount of candles that I have. I love candles. I have them all the time. And this is probably the only time that Jason doesn't complain about how many candles we have, because now we are ready. I have enough to put them everywhere. These nice big Tuscany, these right here, Tuscany candles, I love them. These are my very favorite candles. They burn a long time and they burn evenly, and the whole house smells wonderful. And I like that it's a nice, heavy, wide bottomed, weighted jar that is not easily tipped over. So those are great to set one like on the bathroom sink and light it, and then the whole mirror reflects it, the light all through the room, and that you don't have to worry about they're gonna fall over. And then we also have tons of these that we had bought for my in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary party for table decorations. They just came from Dollar Tree, and we took the label off of them, and they burn a long time as well. So we keep them. They are tall and skinny, so I do put those somewhere where I know that they're not going to get knocked over. And obviously you need something to light them with. So have a lighter that has butane in it. Make sure it's not empty. Matches, something to light those with, because they're totally useless if you can't light them. Then we have flashlights, and I don't have batteries laid out because that's why I'm gathering them. We need to go get batteries when I go to the store on Thursday, so adding that to my list. We used to have a lantern. Colson has one somewhere. He can't find it. He's supposed to be looking for it, that pulls up and lights, and you push it down and it closes, that my dad bought him at Harbor Freight, and he's supposed to be looking for it so I can get batteries for that as well. And then we will use flashlights or that lantern if we need to go outside after dark for any reason. And then also we're going to make sure that Bailey's phone charger battery pack that she bought a while back is completely fully charged, so that in the event that we don't have power, we have a way to at least charge one cell phone so that we can get alerts, have communication from other people, or to get communication if we need it for an emergency situation. So that's what we're planning to do for light and heat. We have the fireplace, gas fireplace. If I had my dream house, that would be a wood burning fireplace. I hate that it's gas, but I'm thankful that we have it. If we just have to turn it on for heat, we will only do it for a very short amount of time at a time, because it smells horrible. And everybody says it only smells that way just for the first couple minutes when you burn it, but ours does not. It smells awful, and the whole house smells like it, and it gets to the point where it makes us sick. So we try not to burn it if we at all can't. If we don't have to, we don't. But we need to get in there tonight, vacuum out all the dust, and make sure that the pilot light is lit. Something else that we need to consider are our pets. This includes the chickens and Willow. We have a Great Dane, for those of you who do not know. So if you have dogs, cats, hamsters, birds, whatever pets you may have, you need to make sure that they have clean bedding. So I need to go out there and scoop their coop, put down some fresh dried out coffee grounds, maybe see if I need to add any more pine shavings in there, make sure their coop is nice and clean so that there's not moisture in there that could cause them to have frostbite with these temperatures on their combs and wattles and feet. Look at those girls. Hi, girls. But they're out there free ranging today before the snow hits to try to get any bugs they can find in the yard and just having an adventure. So not only them, need to make sure they have plenty of feed, clean bedding, and fresh, clean water that is not frozen. And the same with Willow. And Willow is put up right now so that those girls can free range safely and without her trying to play with them. So we will also wash all of her blankets. This is the one that stays in her kennel. And then she has one upstairs on her bed that she sleeps on at night, overnight. And then we will make sure she has plenty of food and, of course, plenty of water. And we will make sure she has lots of love and snuggles. She's an inside dog, so she won't suffer, but we want to make sure her bedding is clean, she has plenty of food. And if your pets have any medicine, maybe prescriptions, again, just like with your prescriptions, you need to make sure that theirs are filled and you have plenty of that as well. Okay, sorry for the light in here. The light in this closet is horrible, but it just is what it is. So another thing, you've got your light, you've got heat, you've got your food, your blankets, your clothes are all clean, stuff to stop drafts in the windows and doors, and all the things that we talked about. First aid kit, sick day kit, all the things, right? So what are you going to eat if you have a winter storm? Maybe you have power, but you don't want to get out on the streets. Maybe you don't have power at all. This is the whole reason I've been trying to stock up this pantry. Is it like I want it to be stocked yet? No, because a little bit at a time, right? I'm not going to go out overnight in 1 or 2 trips and break the bank and fill up this room. It's just a little bit at a time, But I do feel comfortable because we do have foods in here in case if we have to just live off this pantry, there is food that we can survive on for a few days in this pantry. For example, you need to have things in your pantry that are ready to eat right off the shelf that you can just open them and eat them. Now, we have plenty of oatmeal. This, yes, you have to heat it, but we have a grill outside. That's another thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about fireplace and candles. A heat source, if you have a gas grill, would be great. If you have a gas stove in your house, that's even better, but we don't have that. We have an electric stove. Again, if I had my dream home, it would have a gas stove and a wood burning fireplace, but I don't have that, so I have to work with what I have. So these oatmeals can be done on the grill in a saucepan to heat them, to cook them if you need to. The same with soup. You've got canned soups over here. Just heat them, put them on the grill, or on the fireplace, if we can take the logs off and maybe set a saucepan on like a grate over the flame in the fireplace, maybe that would work as well. And then we've also got things like apple butter that I canned. My mom has given us, this is blackberry jam that my mom, or blackberries actually, this is just the berries that my mom canned and gave to us. So we've got different things in here that we can crack open and eat. Another thing I think I'm low on is like canned tuna fish or canned chicken. If you had to eat them cold, you could to survive. Something else that would be good would be like peanut butter and crackers. You don't have to heat it. You can just open them and eat it. Is it ideal? Should you eat that every day, all day? No, but you've got it. If you do have power, but you just don't want to venture out anywhere and kind of stay put for safety reasons, then you can heat the oatmeal. You can heat this soup. You can heat like little small convenience items like this, like rice. I got it at Ollie's for 89 cents. Excuse me. Oh. Canned beans is good. Some of these box macaroni and cheese, easy, quick meal, all that kind of thing. What if you lose power? What are you going to do with what's in your freezer and your refrigerator? So that is kind of scary to think about, especially if they're full, if you have spent a lot of money and invested a lot in those things. Please don't play with that. You're going to break the seal.
Yes, Mom.
We survived an ice storm, me and my sister and my parents, when I was little. I will say it was 93. Mom can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 1993, and then we got hit with this major ice storm that nobody was prepared for. We had electric stovetop, electric hot water heater. It was really hard. But if we had known, had enough warning, and the forecast was right, and more accurate, I should say, we could have been a little bit more prepared. So we learned you could take some things out of your refrigerator and your freezer, and if you have some like I have out in my garage, it's already colder out there. Maybe if you just don't open them for a few days, the temperature will insulate it, and they will probably keep for a few days before you have to try to do something with it. If it gets to the point where you've got to do something with what's in your fridge or freezer because the frozen stuff is thawing out, or it doesn't look like you're going to get power for a really long time, if it is still like around the freezing mark in the temps outside, grab an ice cooler, like a big cooler bags, anything that you can put food into to keep animals out of it and the elements off of it, and set it outside. Either set it into the garage, or you can set it on the patio, cover it in a tarp or whatever, but the temperatures are cold out there, it should hold your food. Or you could open up the grill if you're not using it and it's not hot because you just used it, and put things in the grill and close it up. Set it in your car. If you can get to the car without slipping and falling, open up the back end of your car and set the food in boxes or containers, set it in your car, close it up, and it's basically a refrigerator because it's sitting out there. Think about when you go to get in your car in the winter and it is absolutely freezing cold and you have to sit there until it warms up before you can ever drive anywhere. It's probably below freezing. Your food will be okay sitting in the car like that. So those are just some ideas as far as food, taking care of your food, feeding your family, and not allowing what food you do have to go bad. Okay, the dog next door is barking, sorry. So then that pretty much covers everything except for what if you lose power? It's gonna get really boring because there's no TV, no cell phones, or at least very limited on the cell phones because we may not can charge them, and we don't have internet or anything like that. So you need boredom busters, especially when you have children. Especially the younger they are, the more activities you need to keep them entertained. So this would be a really good time to, let me see if the dog is getting on chicken. No, they're all dirt bathing right here in this little corner, and that dog is right there on the fence wanting to get at them. So sorry about that. Boredom busters, what are you gonna do for fun? You could play games as a family, you could do trivia stuff. There are coloring books, these are Bailey's. You could get some markers, colored pencils, and just sit and color. Even adults like to color. Or you could play board games like this. Colson just got this one for Christmas. We could play board games. We have tons of those. You could play card games. We like these. We also like 5 crowns. That's our favorite one. You could play Legos, build Legos. Colson just got 3 Lego sets with his money that he got for Christmas. He could go build those and put those together. You could put puzzles together. We've got this one. We also got a puzzle for Christmas. It's what, a 1,000-piece puzzle. He could be working on that. You could all work on a puzzle together as a family. It's also a time that you can go through, I don't know, he doesn't want to hear it, but Jason said this weekend.
I just wiped my clothes.
This weekend, we're going through Colson's room. It's a great time to think about what are you using, what are you not using, go through, reorganize, purge. I mean, you're not doing anything else, right? You can't go anywhere, you're stuck here, you might as well go through some things. All right, so that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna go get busy, finish getting everything prepared, probably go put those girls back up, and then we will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. I hope every one of y'all stay safe through this storm. I know some of you are going to get it way worse than we are. Prayers for all of you. Please do what you can with what you have and just stay safe, okay? If you don't have to get out, don't. Stay home, make the preps now, and we will see y'all later in the next video. The next video will be the grocery haul that we go on Thursday. So by the time you see that video, the storm will have already come through, but I'm gonna take you along to get what we need just normally, plus any extras that we need to grab before the storm hits, and I'm sure the crowds are gonna be lovely. So we'll see y'all in that video, and until then, I love you.